Please stand for the presentation of the colors by Matthew Grindle and Michael Harris. Color guard, advance the colors. Scout salute. Will everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scouts, please repeat after me the Scout oath and Scout law. On my honor, I will do my best, do my duty to God and my country, obey the Scout law, tell people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. The red of our flag represents the life and blood of brave Americans. The white of our flag is for purity. The blue of our flag is for faith and loyalty. The external blue of our star-filled heavens. Color guard, post the colors. Two. Will everyone please remain standing while Scout Sebastian Torres comes forward to deliver the invocation?
Holy God, you forged the hills and mountains this young man has hiked and climbed. From you flow the rivers this young man has paddled. Your hands formed the lakes and oceans this one has gone swimming in and gone sailing on. You know each animal and plant he has watched with wonder. You protected this man from the elements, provided the food to cook and eat, and empowered the fires that warmed him. You are the one who sharpens his mind every day to learn skills and facts, knots and first aid, and how to lead and follow. It is you who, through your Son Jesus, gave us the ultimate example of servanthood and sacrifice. Holy God, make your presence known to us today. Set this time apart from us, all the business in our lives, and implant rich memories, richer than any other experience, into our minds, especially the mind of this and of many young men that can be carried forever. Blaze our trail tonight, O God, and lead us with your gracious light.
Please be seated. Thank you, Xander Hamilton, Michael Harris, Matthew Grindle, Sebastian Torres for that opening ceremony. Good afternoon, honored guests, ladies, gentlemen, scouts, and leaders. On behalf of Jonathan Torres and the rest of the Torres family, thank you for being here to commemorate one of Jonathan's highest life achievements, his Eagle Scout ceremony. So I took a little time. I wanted to see, any organization has to understand the history of it before we can go forward. Today, we're commemorating Jonathan's enormous achievement to be forever called an Eagle Scout. So I'd like to take a few moments to kind of review the founder of Scouting and the first Eagle Scout. So Lord Robert Baden-Powell was a writer, founder of the World Scouting movement. He was a soldier serving in the British Army from 1876 until 1910 in India and Africa. Baden-Powell's first introduction to Scouting was stalking and cooking animals and avoiding teachers in nearby woods, which were strictly out of bounds for the school that he was attending. He also played the piano and violin. He was ambidextrous, artist of some talent, and enjoyed acting. Holidays were usually spent on yachting and canoeing, expeditions with his brothers. Baden-Powell wrote Aids to Scouting to suit a youth audience. And in 1907, he held a camp called Ground Sea Island for 22 boys mixed with social background to test some of his ideas. Although he could have continued in the military career, Baden-Powell decided to retire from the Army in 1910 as the advice of King Edward VII, who suggested he could better serve his country by promoting Scouting. The Scouting movement quickly spread throughout England and across the Atlantic. So when Robert Baden-Powell stepped off the ship in New York Harbor on January 12, 1912, He must have been pleased with what he saw. Baden-Powell noticed, as he walked down the gangplank, 40 uniformed Boy Scouts standing at attention, 2 columns, 1 on each side. Baden-Powell stopped to greet each boy, asking his name and his rank, but Baden-Powell's face lit up. According to one account, when he stopped at the last boy in line and noticed the youngster's large gold-colored first-class pin and many badges on his sleeve. Some very similar to what Jonathan with that sleeve sash and all of his merit badges. A boy, modest fellow who rarely spoke out of his accomplishments, turned red with embarrassment as the founder of the Boy Scout movement continued to address him while the official adult welcoming party couldn't really stand and wait. So whatever Baden-Powell said must have inspired that tall 16-year-old boy, because 7 months later, that young man became our first Eagle Scout, and his name was Arthur Rose Eldred. Arthur was part of Boy Scout Troop 1. Their meetings were held in family barns. Each boy earned their money for his uniform, which made Troop 1 one of the first to be completely uniformed, which is why they were amongst the chosen to honor the great Baden-Powell. Like today's Eagle requirements, Arthur earned 21 merit badges: cooking, cycling, electricity, firemanship, gardening, handicraft, life-saving, personal health, swimming, just to name a few. So think about it, Scouts. Your total Scout has been around for over 100 years. As you can see, 100 years ago, they did the same merit badges you are doing today. Good things never go out of style, remember that. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle. That's the tradition that started with Arthur. He volunteered in the Scouting movement long after he was a Scout. He was a board review examiner and chairman of the Sons Troop Committee. He was elected to city council and local regional boards. He promoted produced transportation, Reading Rail, or later became a manager of Motor Carrier Committee and Eastern Railroad Associations. Hence why the Railroad Merit Badge was created. More than 2 million Scouts have followed Arthur Eldred and earned their Eagle. A recent Wall Street Journal column expressed it beautifully. What they have in common is they choose a life of achievement and a life of leadership at a very early age. If you sum up the hours devoted to all the Eagle Scout projects over the years, it becomes the single greatest youth service initiative in history. If you sum up the individual lifetime accomplishments of these 2 million men who set examples and distinguished themselves, it explains why the United States will remain the greatest nation on earth in the next 100 years to come. So here's something else too. At the age of 10 or 11, 100 years ago, they were given a verse to memorize, which they did. And they learned from it, and they lived it. The verse is, "On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight." Goodness begets greatness and never goes out of style. This ceremony today, and why you are here, is not only to honor the accomplishment of Jonathan Torres, our newest Eagle Scout, but also give each of these Scouts, future Eagle Scouts, to learn from the example that Arthur and Jonathan have set before you. Jonathan, and there in the back you can hear me, let me be the first to say, you have some very big shoes to fill, and judging from what I've seen over your trail to Eagle, you will have no doubt filling these shoes and continuing on. So at this time, honor guard, Bryce Hamilton and Joseph Short, please escort before this court of honor, Eagle candidate Jonathan Torres. At this time, the next call, Larry Grindle.
Of the 100 scouts, of any 100 boys who become scouts, it must be confessed that 30 will drop out the first year. Of the 100, 4 will reach Eagle rank. And at least one later will say that he valued his Eagle Scout above his college degree. 6 of the 100 will become pastors. Of the 100, 1/2 will serve in the military and varying degrees profit from their scout training, as Steve Foster did, becoming the former leader of the National Scout Association. find Eagle Scouts in many diverse career fields such as Mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, Hollywood movie director, Steven Spielberg. Gerald Ford was elected President of the United States. Eagle Scout Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Most recently, the NFL was lucky enough to draft 2 Eagle Scouts to the Bears and Colts. Maybe one day, your name will be added to the list of other famous successors. But to us, Jonathan, you are already a success and one whose footsteps should be followed. It can be said the scouting program builds leaders and assets all areas of their lives.
So at this time, I'd like to invite Lila Harris to come forward and read another Eagle Scout law.
The Legend of the Rose. Throughout scouting history, the rose has been associated with the presentation of the eagle. The path of a boy from scout to eagle is a long and often times hard. He does not travel the trail to eagle alone. Many people have been involved with him in this process. There is one person in particular that is honored in addition to the Eagle Scout. That person is his mother. From that first overnight camp out to the pinning of the eagle, she has shared the adventures of scouting with her son in a special way. With her guidance and encouragement, she has helped her son achieve a goal many failed to reach. She has watched her son mature from a young boy to a young man with a purpose to his life. She has been there to share his excitement of camping and hiking with his brother scouts. She has washed load after load after load after load of dirty clothes brought home from camping trips. Most important of all, she has been there for her son when the going got rough and spirits low, as only a mother can. Her love has been an important ingredient in her son's achievement. We honor her today with the presentation of 7 red roses, each rose a symbol of rank in the 7 ranks of scouting. Mrs. Torres.
I'd like to call forward Stephen Hamilton.
Okay. The Eagle Badge, the highest rank a scout can earn. What is it worth? Good question. Well, dollars and cents, it's worth about $20. Probably $5.50 in silver. 75 cents worth of ribbon, and the rest of it in the manufacturing and handling of costs. But what is it really worth to you? Think about it. The time that you have spent first as a scout, and remember that scout skills you have learned for each and every scout. Remember the scout skills that you have learned, and you have rededicated yourself to the scout oath and the law each time you have advanced. think about the service that you have given to your troop and to other people. Is your Eagle badge worth $20? Of course not. Your Eagle badge is priceless. It represents everything that you have learned, everything that you have done, and be prepared for, to help others, and to help yourself. So now you stand on the peak of the mountain as an Eagle Scout. Now look ahead, look sharp. Way out there in the midst of another mountain. And there below is the trail to your future. It may be a long trail, or it could be a short one. But it leads to that mountain far away. As you walk down that trail, and as the years roll by, and finally reach the end, we all hope that you can look back on the trail of life and be able to say proudly, I have done my best.
So now we're talking about this eagle, this future about to pen here in this view. We're going to kind of review what it took you, Jonathan, to get here. So Jonathan, the Eagle Award, obviously you've heard multiple times, the culmination of your efforts. You were required to earn 21 merit badges in various crafts and skills, with 13 of those specifically being Eagle. Jonathan, you went above and beyond, and you achieved 47. So that's a big round of applause for you. Jonathan, you served actively in this troop in multiple leadership positions. While as a Life Scout, you planned and supervised your service projects that demonstrated a Scout's capacity and willingness to exert leadership amongst all in activities that are constructive and worthwhile in your community. With the support of this troop, you completed a very thorough and worthwhile project at the Chesterfield County Fire Station 15 that will provide a place for relaxing and fellowship for first responders for many years to come. You demonstrated through the testimony of character, references like otherwise, that you live the principles of Scout Oath and Law. That's someone endorsing you saying, yes, you do that, because they firmly believe that you do. Finally, you appeared before a board of review, and a testament amongst yourself, and you held yourself high. You made up members of the troop committee and the representatives of this council in the Heart of Virginia district at the age of 15, where you were 3 years early before your requirement. There you go. So Scouts, the charge to you, as you're sitting out in this audience, future Eagle Scouts, I ask you to look at what Jonathan has set again before you as an example to help you learn your scouting. He's led you, he's taught you, and hopefully you can carry that on to become, up here soon, your role in the Eagle. So at this time, I'd like to, we're going to present you with your pin. But I'm going to ask Chris to come forward, help me out with this. I'm also going to ask Mom and Dad, Laura and Randy, please come forward. So Jonathan, the day you crossed over to scouting, it was the Scouts that put the scarf on your neck. But it was also your parents that have been behind you the entire time. They've been on the Trail of Eagle with you, so that's why I'm calling forward to help me pin this and put your neckerchief on. Jonathan, on behalf of our Virginia Council and this troop, I award you the Eagle Rank. Round of applause. Jonathan, again, by achieving 47 merit badges, automatically entitled you to what we call palms. And today you will be awarded a silver and a bronze for your achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jonathan Torres. So Jonathan, no one will ever know the number of acts, self-sacrifice, and helpfulness from Mother of the Eagle Scout, which has led this afternoon. As a symbol of what this mother has made possible, the court now asks Jonathan, you will present this to her mother. Jonathan, your father has played an enormous role in helping you reach this achievement. He'd be honored if you presented his pen. And Jonathan, I have one more pen in my hand here. It's for your mentor, where you and your mentor have spent multiple hours laughing and laboring. He was stood by your side, helped you to your project, helped as your mentor, and will help you in the life more to come. It'd be an honor to be presented to your mentor.
Jonathan, on behalf of Troop 2837, make me really proud to give you your Eagle Scout certificate. Good job, son. Thank you.
Chris. At this time, Chris Liss will now present the Eagle Charge.
I have the honor to give you the Eagle Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in Scouting. The Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant influences in the world's history. You have been considered worthy of this highest rank in the Boy Scouts of America. Be a leader. Lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and your fellow man. Eagle Scout Jonathan, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout brotherhood holding before you the ideals of honor and service. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. Will all the Eagle Scouts present today join me as I administer the Eagle Scout promise? Will everybody please stand? Eagle Scouts, please give me the scout sign and repeat after me. I, please say your name. Reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example of my rank. And my influence counts strongly and for better citizenship in my home, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this pledge, I make sacred honor. Two. You may be seated.
So now that we've got the formal ice board out of the way, I'd like to call forward Lauren to kind of come forward and share a few words to John.
Jonathan, you made it. I can't believe we're here on this day celebrating your achievement of Eagle at the age of 15. I have a confession. I have been planning this court of honor for you for 5 years. Not literally, but in my heart, I have imagined rows of guests filling this room for you. You in your uniform with your fresh new Eagle neckerchief and the sense of pride throughout the room. I knew you would learn valuable life skills and many leadership techniques amongst other timeless scouting traditions. But I couldn't predict the friendships you would create, the moments you would hold dearest to your heart, the people you would touch with your kindness. I am excited to see what you will take with you as you continue on life. Jonathan, I have watched you gain strength through struggle. I have heard you laugh with your friends. I have watched you be giving and kind to others with such an ease that is clearly from your heart. It is a wonderful feeling to know how deep your child's heart can go. The sense of achievement you are feeling is well-deserved. Although you will not boast, because that is not who you are, I want you to wear your Eagle pin, patch, and neckerchief with pride, because you earned it. Jonathan, you are who you are, and that is exactly who you are supposed to be. I hope you keep the love of the outdoors near to your heart, and that you keep on caring for those less fortunate. Keep honoring those who serve the community, and keep Jesus first in all you do. Jonathan, as your mother, I couldn't be prouder of the young man you are, and I cannot wait to see what you have in store next.
Mr. Randy Torres.
First of all, thank you everybody for showing up to show support to my son on his Eagle Court of Honor. Thank you. I do have a letter for my son. Jonathan, when you first joined Cub Scouts, I couldn't predict that I would be standing here 10 years later. Taking this journey with you has brought us together in so many ways. I have the best memories working side by side with you, preparing for the annual Pinewood Derbies. I remember teaching you how to hold the coping saw the right way, coming up with the signs, and getting the weight just right, which was always tricky, but you always got it right. Bringing home trophies was very rewarding, but the pride and the work you put into these cars was always worth more than any trophy. I can also recall how proud you were to wear the tiger cap, that you even wore it to school, the grocery store, and the park. You were very proud of it. Scouting was an activity that made you eager to learn and only brought out the sweet side on you on so many occasions. Although you were shy, you still sought the friendship of any scout you would meet. Jonathan, in my opinion, you epitomize what a kind and humble scout should be. Making it to Eagle was not even a foresight when you were in Cub Scouts. You were enjoying the ride and gladly doing the work. I have watched you be courteous to the adults and scouts you interact with. I am very proud of your character and grace that you carry yourself about. However, you are not all grown up yet, so remember to keep having fun and don't grow up too fast. You have a giving heart and work ethic that many might envy. Volunteering for you has never been for the hours, but because it was the right thing to do. You have lent your hand to many organizations throughout the years, like the Special Olympics, Feed More, and our church, St. Anne, just to name a few. And you have participated in every single Eagle Scout project that this troop has had since you crossed over. Again, not for the hours, but because it was that's what was right, and that's who you are. The way you have been able to manage scouting activities, as well as your scholarly activities, your involvement in orchestra, where you have played the viola consistently since the 6th grade, being a member of your high school track team, going to practice and making the meets and still end up meeting all your expectations in each of these areas is truly remarkable. You have excelled in each of these areas as you look to add more to your plate in the near future. Jonathan, since you crossed over to Troop 2837 in 2014, many fun camping and hiking opportunities have presented themselves. From hiking parts of the Appalachian Trail to bouldering at the Devil's Marble Yard, to summer camp weeks and visiting the White House are some of these memorable experiences that you will take with you for the rest of your life. They would not have been possible had you not been a scout. The 10 years you have been involved in scouting do not culminate today at your Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Jonathan, let today be the beginning of a new journey of giving back to the community and this troop which has provided so much to you. Give back leadership and guidance to young scouts as previous Eagles did to you. Keep inspiring those who look up to you and provide them a helping hand. Congratulations, son. I am so very proud of the young man that you are becoming.
Mr. Jonas.
All right, Jonathan, stand up. Face the crowd. All right, two more. You'll get the rest.
Your mom and dad wrote eloquent letters. They took the time to show their love and appreciation for you and what you've provided. My printer broke, so I have a scribble note. Hope you don't mind. All right, there's two subject matters I'd like to cover about Jonathan. One is his Eagle Project. He obviously did a phenomenal job at performing and executing at a high level. But it didn't come easy for him. When we first met, he told me what he wanted to do. We spoke about it. I told him what it would take to get it done. And then I saw the whites of his eyes. Nothing but like, oh my Lord, what did I get myself into? Then on top of that, another twist in the turn, money wasn't going to be for free. He had to develop part 2 of his Eagle Project, which is a fundraiser. A fundraiser is an Eagle Project in itself. Then the real whites of his eyes popped out. But because he believed in his parents and his leaders, we gave him a plan. We started it with this, the 5 P's. Jonathan, what are the 5 P's? You got it. Pre-planning prevents poor performance. He believed in it. He believed that if he took the time to pre-plan, it would improve his success rate by at least 80%. He believed it, he followed through, and he executed. Did he go through character building experiences? He absolutely did. But it made him stronger today. Let me add something else. Jonathan, do you remember while we were at the Eagle Project? All of a sudden, we're walking around, we're helping, you're leading your Eagle Project. During the Eagle Project, John was off the far left of the parking lot, doing his thing, and I'm at the other end. We decided to lift this 16-foot, 500-pound picnic bench. We put it at a 45-degree angle with a beautiful 2x4 that was probably 16 feet long. So there it is, perfectly angled. For someone to come by and safely from a distance spray the bench underneath so it would be nice and covered and protected. So I turn around, we walk off, and I come back, and then all of a sudden, there's 4 or 5 scouts underneath with a paintbrush, motivated, painting it with judicious energy. So I immediately saw a problem. I went to Jonathan. Jonathan, what do you see here? He immediately looked at it. Well, Mr. Willis, this looks like a safety problem. I think we need to do something about it. I said, Jonathan, it's not me. It's your project. What do you think we should do? Well, I think we should go over there and tell them to get away and then set it down. The great thing about this story is this. He didn't panic. He didn't get scared. He had full focus. He walked over there with a gentle spirit and guided the boys away. Did you not, John? From safety. So that's a testament to his character. He is a gentle spirit. If I were an Indian chief, that would be his name, gentle spirit. So without further ado, Jonathan, the backside of my notes say this. Keep reaching for the stars. The world is all yours. Life is a character building experience. Grab it and embrace it. Congratulations.
Anybody else like to come forward, give a few minutes to Larry Grindle? It'll be on Mr. Grindle if you decide to let you stand or sit, so I'm not turning for you.
Well, Jonathan, congratulations. My words won't be as touching as your parents' words, but nevertheless, I'm just as proud of you, and I've certainly been honored with having the opportunity to participate in your career, in your adventure with Boy Scouting. I have so much to say about you that I had to write a 2-page summary, Jonathan. I remember the day that you joined PAC 2837. You were about this tall, just like all the other strikers were. What really stands out to me that day was most of all, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm going to back up here first. Jonathan, I've been contemplating for the last week of what I should say to you today. Looking back on your scouting adventure with Troop 2837 and your patrol with strikers, you've been the almost perfect scout. You've been loyal to your troop and patrol. You're trustworthy. You're always willing to give a helping hand. Always friendly to new scouts. You're very courteous, obedient, and reverent. And you have a very kind heart. Whenever we go on campouts, you always pitched in and helped with the dreaded post-meal cleanup. I believe that you tried to live up to the the Scout oath or the Scout law every day of your life. You worked very hard on earning many merit badges. Job well done. You've completed an awesome Eagle Scout project for the Fire Department number 15 at the Chesterfield Airport. We have gone to 4 summer camps together at Camp Powhatan with the troop and the stripers, which Jonathan, I know you thoroughly enjoy. He always marched in line to the opening and closing ceremonies, always participated in the flag ceremonies and the service projects that the troop did. When I was pointing out the 12 points of Scout law that Jonathan lives by, I failed to mention that he is very brave. What makes me say this? And Jonathan, at your very first summer camp, I found out just how brave you were. The troop was camped at Little Max. It was a late evening, the sun was gone. I was taking a head count to ensure that we had all of our scouts. Though Jonathan, his parents would certainly kill me if we come back home without Jonathan. So I set about to look for Jonathan. Sure enough, here he comes, down through the woods, towards camp with no headlamp. He was on his way back from a nature program, a late night nature program, and he forgot to tell any adults that he was going. Now, back to the day that Jonathan joined PAC 2837. What I remember most about that day was who Jonathan brought with him to that first meeting. The moment I met Randy and Lauren Torres, I knew that they were going to be amazing Scout parents. And I wasn't disappointed. Randy and Lauren, I'm very proud of your son, Jonathan, and his accomplishments. And I know that you are too. I'm honored to have been a part of Jonathan's scouting journey. Thank you for all you've done for PAC 2837 and what you are all doing for Troop 2837. Most of all, thank you for bringing your boys, Jonathan and Sebastian, to our troop. Jonathan, congratulations for being a great scout. We're very proud of you.
I think we have an eagle coming up. He can decide if you're gonna stand or you're gonna sit. So, really isn't just.
Hi, my name's Joseph Short. If you guys don't know me, I'm the Eagle Scout from this troop. I'm the prior to Jonathan and Bryce getting their Eagle Scout, I was the last one. So it's really great for me to see the production come out with more Eagle Scouts come out every year because it's such a low percentage. As Mr. Grinnell said earlier, I think it was Mr. Hamilton. It's 4% of all Boy Scouts get Eagle. So we're seeing that high production come out of this troop, and we're seeing great young men like Jonathan, my Eagle project, we did it like a Friday day before, it's kind of like a pre-planning day, and it was me, Christopher, Mr. List, and Jonathan and his brother. And I was like, I really appreciated the turnout from them because, for me it was a really stressful time because I'm unorganized, and I never listened to Mr. List, I didn't pre-plan because that prevents poor performance. And that certainly put me through some CVEs. So, I commend you for your effort, and I thank you for everything that you've done for me and this troop, and just congratulations, man.
Mr. Chrysalis.
Well, as much as I want to, I can't embarrass Jonathan with that because I know I have a lot of stories from camping because when he was coming to the troop, I was starting to move out into the world because I got my Eagle Scout back in 2012 and you joined in 2014. So, but what I can tell you is that every day I've known Jonathan, either in scouting or outside scouting, he has always had a smile on his face. Every time you've asked him to do something, he's either said yes or yes sir, or no ma'am, yes ma'am. and he's done it without giving you an attitude or anything. And that's one of the reasons that I've always admired Jonathan. So I just want to say congratulations, and welcome to the Brotherhood.
Mr. Stephen Hamilton.
You can have a seat. I, on the other hand, can tell a bunch of stories about Jonathan. So leading into that, we're going to the lighter side of things. Jonathan was a tiger, and he was about that high. Crooked hat coming in, kind of off kilter, and a big smile on his face. And I said, oh boy, how am I going to keep up with these guys? So throughout Cub Scouts, him and his brother have been through the pack and then out to the troop. They have always been a blessing to all of us. Jonathan's been that kind soul all along. I will share a few moments, if I may, on the lighter side of things. Jonathan, he doesn't complain. He really doesn't. And that is one of his best qualities. And I really admire him for that. Because as a scout person or a parent, we hear all kinds of complaints. So far, not the food. The food hasn't been too bad. But we hear everything else. I'm tired, my legs ache, I can't step another step, I have a blister, I have homework, my dog took away my scout book, all kinds of things. But he's always never had any excuses. His character building experiences is something that he's have used to continue on his life and build his self-esteem and to build him as a man as he is today. And I commend him for that, and I hope he continues in the future to be a leader and make a difference, not only the scouts' lives, but in people's lives, and adults, and in the general community, which I know, no doubt he will. One little thing I want to say is we were at scout camp, and we were doing a little higher venture with, being 30 feet in the air, suspended by ropes. And Jonathan, I can see him standing out taking pictures, and he's looking up at this thing, going, oh boy, how am I going to get up there? Now the first step to this was logs that were staggered, and the first log to the second log was like more so than any scout because they were taller than him, so they had to make a leap of faith almost. Jonathan took a look at this, and they were trying to do some teamwork between the two of them that were going up. And I remember Jonathan finally get to the top, and he took the deepest breath you ever seen. I could hear it from the ground. And then I was thinking, ooh, if his mom knew he was up there. So he's going on his log, and they got some big poles in the middle, and he grabbed that pole like he'd never seen that pole before in his life. He grabbed it so hard and was hugging onto it, and I was thinking, wow, this is definitely a out of the zone, out of the comfort zone type experience for him. Not just him, but there were several others in that group. And so he really had a good experience then. I saw a lot develop in him. And then he went and set off to Buckskin. And Buckskin's a leadership course that the scouts go to, and they learn about leadership. And Jonathan changed a little bit after he got back from Buckskin. A lot of different things had been implemented in his character. And we saw that, and not just me, but a lot of adults in the troop did. So we appreciate Jonathan and everything he has done, and we look forward to what's in the near future. And I cannot say that I'm as proud as your parents, but I am right up there with them. I'm very proud of Jonathan. Congratulations.
As the way I knew Jonathan,
I've never been a people person. I know surprising. But I've tried to stay away from people because I've had a issue of speaking from face to face. And I've always struggled with that, even now. Jonathan has helped me with that. He's one of the few people out of the handful I can count on my hand that I can rely on, and whatever I say, he can help me with every problem I got, and vice versa. Sorry, my mind's going blank. I've been with him to a few campouts, and quite often, now I remember what I was going to say. And most people know the outside appearance of Jonathan, but when you get to actually know him as a friend, you get to see his other side. I've seen him when he's frustrated. I've seen him where he was at the brink of giving up. I have also seen him to the point where he was frustrated enough to put it down and never see it again. And out of those times, he has come to me for assistance. I've always admired him because he's about the most human person I have met. He has the outside appearance of, I can do this, I can do that. But he also has his inner struggles as well. And because of that, I always try my best to help him out to my best ability.
Nothing I can say can match what Bryce just did. I've known Jonathan since we were wolves in the Cub Scouts. He's an amazing person to know, and I'm lucky to be able to call him my friend. He's hardworking, obedient, helpful, and most of all, kind. I tried to think of a story to tell the audience about Jonathan, to show you how good of a person he is, but I don't need a story. Jonathan tells it himself every day. I know this was short and sweet, but Jonathan, congratulations.
Mr. Michael Harris.
I want to say congrats, Jonathan. It's good to have you as a friend and known each other for a long time. And we've pushed each other through along the way, hard times, good times, and we've helped each other take some risks, like Clear Lake dock jumping. He didn't want to do it, but I was like, it's fine. You're just landing in water. So he did it. He enjoyed it, 100% of it. Like he wanted to go again and again, but we ran out of time. And he just enjoyed every part of scouting. Even if one of his patrols didn't want to make a meal, he did it himself. And all of us helped him clean up. And we help him, and we do whatever for him. So congratulations, John.
personal side before I go forward and give you the floor. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for being the example. Thank you for what you did, and thank you for, so in my own personal experience, when we had just moved back to Virginia, we were looking, my boys were legal too, we were looking for a troop, and we found your brother and the connection, and you were a den chief to us. That was my first experience with scouting. Thank you for being an example. Thank you for welcoming us in. Thank you for, and from then on, I knew you were an extension of the family. Thank you to the Torres family for everything you guys have done. And thank you, Jonathan, because you set the example. Even as when I saw you senior patrol leader in my leadership positions, even to now, without, like everybody's already said, you do it, it's a can-do attitude. I will do my best. You do it everything I see. You live the scout oath and everything. And in my current profession, instant credibility comes when the word Eagle Scout comes out. It's automatic. And it's high expectations, high standards, which I know you can live up to. And I thank you for being an example for these young future scouts. And I hope you guys take something away from this. But again, Jonathan, just because this is not like your dad says, it's not a culminating event, it's only the beginning. You have your community, your friendship, you have us in your corner to wherever you go in this world. So thank you. So now, Jonathan, now that we've all said everything about you, right? I want to give you this mic, and you have an opportunity to share what you'd like to. Ladies and gentlemen, our newest Eagle Scout, Mr. Jonathan Torres.
Good afternoon, troop members, my family, and friends. I'd like to thank all of you for taking your time out of the day to come to my Court of Honor. It is such an honor to receive my Eagle Scout Award after 10 years of scouting. My journey was a fun journey. My first camp out with the troop was Devil's Lumber Yard, where the camp out where the main activity was climbing huge boulders. It was a very wet weekend. Water even leaked into my tent, and a lot of my belongings were soaked. There was no permanent damage, only lessons learned. Or as Mr. List would say, a CBE. What is that, you might be thinking? Character building experience. That camp out taught me a lot of camping do's and don'ts, but that was a memorable camp out since we woke up to snow that wasn't in the forecast. Moving on, I had many fun times on camp outs like kayaking, fishing, biking, cooking, hiking, and summer camp always being the highlight of my year. Scouting has definitely helped me build my confidence, mainly because of the support my fellow scouts have shown me. I know I have a lifelong brotherhood with the guys in this troop. You guys really are like my brothers, and this troop wouldn't be the same without any of you. If it weren't for scouts, I wouldn't be able to pack a tent properly. If it weren't for scouts, I wouldn't be able to perform proper first aid. If it weren't for scouts, I wouldn't be able to ride a horse. If it weren't for scouts, I wouldn't be able to manage public speaking the way I do. I wanted to take a minute to thank all the ASMs. Although our troop is boy-led, without all of you dedicated ASMs, so much wouldn't be possible. Mr. Grindle, you have been with me since Cub Scouts and have mentored me throughout the years. I know after scouting is over, we will continue our friendship. In my years of Boy Scouts, I have had 3 Scoutmasters, and I have learned valuable lessons from each one. Mr. Martindale was a great listener. He was very knowledgeable and always treated each boy equally. His first priority was helping Scouts achieve their goals. I have a lot of memories of Mr. Collins. He was a lot of fun. He tried hard to befriend each Scout and treat us as equals. Mr. Rios, you have been a great Scoutmaster. You are a good example to us and help keep us motivated. I appreciate that you are always open to new ideas and want to make sure that we are always engaged. I really missed having you at my Eagle Scout project, but I'm glad you are here today. Mr. Liss, I wanted to say thank you to you for showing me guidance during my Eagle Scout project. This was a whole new experience for me, and I am honored that you wanted to be a part of it. Dad, finding a way to thank you for all the effort you have put into me and my brother is almost impossible. Almost. Thank you for driving me to summer camp and singing with us. Thank you for working on pilot derby cars with me. Thank you for being patient with me when I'm struggling. And thank you for making sure I have what I need to stay active in scouting. Thank you for being a supportive Scout Dad. And Mom, you are the world's greatest mother any Scout could ask for. You have always supported me when things got tough. As I've grown older, I've become aware of just how much you've sacrificed for me over the years. And thank you for guiding me through my scouting journey. I love you, Mom, and thank you for all you did and that you continue to do.
At this time, Peter Boss will come to the report and give our closing prayer.
Always remember that the Lord gives strength to those who are weary. Even young people get tired and stumble and fall. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will be strong like eagles soaring upward on broad wings. They will walk and run without getting tired. May God's breath fill your wings and carry you to your destinies. May you continue to grow in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. May you keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, morally straight. May you lead by influence and not by title alone. May you lead with that tenuous mix of humility, strength, example, and force. May you build into the lives of other young men, future eagles, for all of your days. And may the great Scoutmaster of all Scouts be with us until we meet again. Amen.